Hi YouTube, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life. Today is day 17 of the 30-day video challenge. And we are in beautiful southern Alberta. It's a wonderful day and we're gonna do a little shooting up in the barn. I'm gonna use one of my favorite guns, and this is the very first gun that I ever purchased after I had got my PAL, my possession acquisition license. I had a 22 that was handed down. I got it when I was a kid, and I think it's always been at my dad's place, but when I wanted to get back into shooting, I went and got my licensing, all that stuff taken care of, and I bought this gun. This is the Savage 93R17 BSEV. Long name, kind of specific to this gun. Basically, it's a 17 HMR. That is one of my favorite rounds for varminting. It's inexpensive, it's fast, and it's accurate. It has one of the flattest flight patterns of all these small cartridges out there. Excellent option for shooting gophers, taking care of rabbits, small game like that, long distances, super fun. Basically, this gun is a beast. It's not necessarily a great field gun. I consider this more of a bench gun. Usually I'll take it up to the barn here, set it on a table, and I'll check out over the field and I'll just shoot gophers or targets all day long. This is a heavy barreled rifle. Take a look at this. That's what you call a heavy barrel. It's a little bit of a fancy gun, and I'm not crazy about fancy guns. It's got this exterior fluting on the barrel. It's got this crazy laminate stock. I actually ordered a different model of the 17 by Savage, and this one came. I was gonna send it back until I held it. And when I held it in my hands, instantly I was like, okay, I can get over the fact that it's a pretty gun based on just how incredible it feels to me. When I shoulder this rifle, this pistol grip here with a huge thumb cutout, over-exaggerated thumb cutout, probably do it to save weight as well. It is just so nice in the hands, and especially when you're bench shooting, it feels amazingly well. The barrel length on this rifle is 21 inches. Overall length of 40 inches. That's a big gun. The weight, I believe, is like 6.89 pounds, almost 7 pounds. That's a heavy gun. But this thing is solid. I've mounted a Bushnell banner. This is a 17 HMR specific scope. Basically, there's a bit of a process to get it sighted in properly, but once you have it done, you can adjust your distances, and it has a bit of a range finding feature in it. Basically, they've got all the distance increments on here, and when you're at that distance, it will be the clearest picture within the scope. Comes down all the way to 10 yards, which is silly, I think. This thing isn't accurate at 10 yards. It's just with the offset too much, it's not. I mean, you could hit a large object at 10 yards, but if you're trying to hit a 1-inch penny or a small target, not gonna happen at 10 yards. But once you get over 25 yards, it actually works quite well. I would say this gun is more accurate at 50 yards than it is at 10 yards. And when I say accurate, I mean the ability to knock off a quarter from a fence post. And basically from 10 yards, and the last marking they have is 400 yards, and then it goes to the infinity symbol, just like my tattoo. This scope also has a 3.5 to 10 times magnification. That's really handy when you're shooting gophers, prairie dogs that are out 200 plus yards. I would say consistently, I hit everything I shoot at about 200 yards, and we're talking targets the size of an orange. Beyond that, depends on the wind and everything else. 300 yards I've taken gophers before, rabbits, but that all depends. But if you're under 200 yards, and if you have this gun set up properly with a decent scope, it's just a matter of pulling the trigger and you're gonna get your target. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on the table. I've got an oil service company in the field right now, so I can't really be shooting out there yet. Hopefully they leave soon because the gophers are out here. I'm gonna warn you, this is gonna get a little bit graphic. I'm gonna switch up to my other camera that has a really long zoom. I'm hoping to get a close-up picture of a gopher and then shoot it. I'm sorry if this bothers you. Turn the video off now. Gun review portion's over. Oh, I'll let you know this gun is about $700 as well. Not a cheap gun, but heavy gun, long gun. It's not a great field walking gun, but it's an awesome shooting rifle. Let's get to it. This gun utilizes these little box mags, 5-round capacity, and if you've never seen a 17 HMR, there's a 17 HMR. Let me show you compared to a 22. Okay, 17 HMR, 17 grain bullet, 22 long rifle, 32 grain bullet. The 17 HMR is a wonderful round. If you've never shot it, you need to give it a try. But I will warn you, It's a loud round, so you're gonna want ears on, even if you're out in a field. These suckers are stupid loud. All right, so the oil service company is leaving. They're on the road off the property. I'm gonna wait till they get completely off the property, obviously make another scan to ensure that I'm safe to shoot, and then we're gonna get shooting. I love this gun. As you can see, this is a sweet shooting spot. Set up in the barn, and I've got this field to shoot out into. Oh yeah. One thing I like about this gun is you'll notice it's got a very short action. Obviously it's a short round, but it's a sweet, ultra reliable. I've never had a jam in this gun. It cycles smooth, and the magazines have been very reliable as well. With the one exception, these are the magazines that it comes with. These are little 5-round, and I have a couple of these. I also have one of these 10 rounds, which is also made by Savage, but it's not quite as smooth. It still cycles, and I've never had a jam or a failure on it, but these ones just feel a little bit smoother. So that's something to consider if you're looking at buying additional magazines as well. Okay, so after shooting, I forgot to mention one really important thing, and I thought of it while I was shooting. I was thinking about how nice the trigger was, and it's just such a great pull, and it has the AccuTrigger. Basically, it's kind of like a 2-stage trigger, and I'll show you a close-up of that. So basically you have a little mechanism here, and basically you have this little part here which is like a pre-trigger. It's a 2-stage trigger, and you pull this down and that releases that so they can have a very fine trigger pull. Right, so this is basically almost like a pre-trigger and then the trigger, and these are adjustable triggers. There's different things online of what people say they are set at, but I've got this one to about, I believe it's around 4 pounds, but super light, super soft, nice clean break. It's a pretty good trigger. AccuTrigger, I mean, you can buy really expensive triggers for nice guns, and nice guns come with really great triggers, but typically this Savage is considered a budget-friendly gun. Obviously you can get much cheaper models than this without the fancy stock, the barrel, and all that stuff. Still, it's a budget type gun, but for a budget gun, the AccuTrigger is actually really decent, and I really like it. All right guys, well thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at the Savage 17 HMR. Again, this is the 93R17 and the BSEV, I believe. Anyways, I got my boys here now, and the day is too nice to waste, so we're gonna do some shooting. Thanks for watching guys. Cheers.